Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s. Not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff. We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. On first down, Shelby. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. For these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. A give to Smith out of the gun. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Ready, you ready? 53, check 53. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Let's go.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check back.
From the 30 on second down, Winston. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on the line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you've got to win those matchups, because if you do, you'll get the football and probably for a nice game.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Number 53, Mike 53. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Marlon Mack, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 56, the mark, boys. 56. Check, 56. And pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that's caught by Beasley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on first down. Shelby. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for third down.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Powell runs through the contact. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quinnen Williams never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Jameis to throw it. And the pressure gets to him again. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
That's taken on the 25. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
2nd and 3 at the 38-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 52. Check 13. Anyway. Check 37. Check 37. Check 50. Check 50.
Now a give right side. Shelby. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out.
And oh, he coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Winston. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that actually costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Here we go. Mike 28.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. Well, we just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Ready? White 25. Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense. Ready to go.
Play action now. Winston. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Quinnen Williams in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Powell. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. 1st down sack, 2nd down negative rushing play.
And I will guarantee you right now the head coach is weighing in on his headset to the offense coordinator, whether he thinks it's strategy or he thinks it's execution, because that's going to determine this next play call. Are you staying with what you're doing, or are you going in a different direction?
Flushed out right. Going right side here, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run, and everyone else stays ready, and they were, and they picked that one off.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Ready, right, 52. 53, check 53. We own them. Here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Winston. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. Here the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They keep it with Smith on first down. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Whip. Watch the whip. Check. Lucky.
From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
54. Mike 54.
They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
54. Come on. You better bring. Watch the safety creep.
2nd and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Winston now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Stevens. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. They start this with a run for Powell. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Now Winston. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing the receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That goes for 14 yards, first down Cardinals.
First down, Arizona.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. He'll drop to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 17.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They run with Powell. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Powell. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. They'll run on first down. It's Powell. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Cardinals' 13-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the ground with a tight end. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. The Cards going nickel, an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down.
4 down, 34, eyes on 30, go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Number 53, Mike 3, here we go, dude. Here I come.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
The point after is good. And they open the lead up now to 25. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A first down carry for Smith. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He was taken down by DeForest Buckner.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground with Smith. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll look to throw here. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 29. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is a season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce And he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They go again with Powell. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
2nd and 5. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
First down,
Double tight. Double tight. Switch.
On first down, Shelby. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Rip left. Rip.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 20-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now left side on the swing pass. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now this time he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. He's at the 50. The 30, the 20, 10, and that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they take a knee. So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Niners, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.